Guys, welcome to Nightshift Uncensored, episode 18. I'm Jaffe, along with my hosts Carlos and Will. Today we have Lindsey.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Lindsey is our first repeat customer, so we appreciate you coming back.
First?
No
She's actually our second. We had Cheyenne, remember?
come on. Wait it.
All right, well, okay.
I feel
Yours
like
are
we had-
first.
I feel like we had Angelina a few times. Didn't we have Angelina more than once?
Probably.
Well, the first show, which we don't even show anymore, it's not even on.
Coming soon.
Right.
Coming to a theater.
Coming to a theater near you.
Right. But hey, we have Lindsey. Lindsey texts me a couple times, like maybe a couple times a month. It just thanks me for the opportunity that she's gained by working for me.
I think I just sent you one the other day.
You did, yeah. It's how it's changed her life. And I always wonder, like, is it for the better or for the worse?
Probably a little of both.
A little bit of both? Yeah.
Well, if you guys haven't watched the podcast before or listened to the podcast before, what do you do, Lindsey?
What do you mean?
Tell everybody what do you do? Because just in case
In
it's the first time seeing you.
general, or like,
Yes, in general.
no, I'm a.
Who are you?
I am a musician, so I sing with a bunch of different groups. I play the viola. I was a music major. So music is kind of my life. If you'll ever catch me behind the bar, you'll see me dancing and singing. You've actually pointed out a few times that I know lyrics to every
Song.
freaking song.
It could be 11 o'clock in the morning in a Monday, and she's singing the song that's playing.
It's awesome 'cause I know a lot of music lyrics too, and so we'll hear songs and we'll sing together.
Do it together. And then,
Of course, she sounds good. I don't, but
I don't think you sound that bad.
I wouldn't do a wedding like you do.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've probably done 4,000 weddings.
Really? And the most popular requested song is?
Oh, God, I don't know, man. It's across the board.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of wedding you do.
Yeah, but the
done some.
one you've sung the most
Probably At Last.
at last.
Oh, my God. It's
I mean-
a homegirl song.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's why when she goes up
Can you-
and sings it, I'm
Who
like,
does it better?
Okay, don't put me on the spot like that. You know, I'm a professional, all right? Let's just... She does a great job, though. I didn't
Yeah.
expect her voice to be as...
And she's pretty fucked up when she does it.
Yeah, she's,
We have a friend, just for the audience. We have a friend that comes by, spends a lot of money, and when they get really trashed, they sing At Last.
Oh, that's the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know,
Right.
Yeah.
And they insist on it, so we all have to.
So like we literally, it's this.
Hey, but that's good. When
It's
you
really-
hear
she
that
sings
song,
well.
it's good times.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
good
my
times.
God! It's like, it means we're about to count
Yeah,
30,000 or
good times.
$20,000.
Exactly. She'll,
You
probably,
know, like,
she'll throw you some extra money
Yeah,
for that, okay?
this is an amazing lady that comes in and blesses everybody.
It also breaks up the monotony of some of the evening. Like sometimes you just get caught in the routine and you're busy, and then all of a sudden you hear somebody in the DJ booth singing At Last, and you're like, what is happening right now?
oh my God! It's always like a negotiation though, because
To get up there and sing.
yeah, because she's like, I want to go now. It'd be like 11 o'clock on a Friday, you know. and
People
I'm
are
like,
twerking.
Girl,
We got
you
tons of
can't-
customers. And you want to sing At Last right
She's
now?
like, they're gonna love it.
Every time I hear that song, though, all I do is picture the chaos that goes on with it.
Oh,
We were in Cabo one time, and I remember I was in the room and I heard that song, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look outside, and she's down there in the lobby by the pool singing, and everybody is over the balcony.
I
It's
love
just like,
that, though.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I
That's
wonder if
good.
she's ever done anything else with it, too.
She did. So at my friend Ian and Ann's wedding, Ian learned how to play the piano. So for the song that they're supposed to dance to, Ian played the piano and she sang.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a fun,
super.
It's a fun talent to have. You know?
Super dope.
Was it At Last?
It's
Okay.
always,
It's the only song. Yeah, that's
it's your go-to.
It is,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
If I want to show off my voice, that's usually something I would go to.
Because
as
you can
well.
belt it out, right?
Yeah, that one or Valerie.
So what do you?
All right, do it.
By
1,
Amy
2,
Winehouse.
3, go. Let's
Really?
Did
play.
you
it.
hear me? How
3,
stuffy I
2,
am?
1.
Sing Valerie, really?
Yeah,
I love that song.
me too.
What's
I
his
sing
name
so
redid
much
it? What's the
music, Will,
artist
I
that
don't think
redid
you
it?
get it.
What's the artist that redid it? The guy from Hawaii? Used to be an Elvis impersonator? Bruno Mars. Bruno
Did?
Mars? Yeah.
How
Bruno
have I
Mars
heard
has
that?
redone Valerie. It's amazing.
That's one of my favorites.
Not as good as you, though. You really belt it out, don't you?
Bruno, hit me up.
Well, you also bartend.
Yeah, I've been bartending for an extremely long time, and I kind of fell into
Extremely.
it. Extremely long time. I'm old, y'all.
Then what does that make us?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, I'm like a fucking fossil if you're old.
So I didn't hire Lindsey the first time she applied to bartend.
I know. I want to know why. Was it the short hair?
I don't really remember the incident, so
I was
so
really
can't
dressed
say.
up, too.
God,
Were
everybody
you really?
remembers-
Yeah, I wore
Yeah.
like this black little mini dress and like these 5-inch tall wedges, and I thought I was gonna nail it. Annie was like, "Oh, I hope you get it. I really want you."
I don't know why. I don't
feeling my
really
vibe.
remember.
I probably can think of why.
Why? What was it?
You're probably like, yeah, like,
all right.
no. He's like, yeah, I got this girl, but I got this other girl, and then like nobody shows up. Like the new bartender we just got.
Oh my God, what happened?
You know the new
dude?
bartender we just
know.
got? He had like 3 other girls lined up. He's like, yeah, I got this one and I got that
go
one,
with
and like
this
then it
girl.
never comes. He's very like, just like, we'll see what happens.
I
you
need
know?
to see initiative from the person. I don't know. I don't know if this is talking in your case specifically the first time, but I guess the extra initiative sometimes gives me the go signal, because there's going to be some tight
Yeah,
situations.
she didn't wow you.
Well, there's going to be some tight situations, and I need to know that they have that need it now kind of scenario.
You know who's the
I
same?
was nervous too. That was
Or yeah,
really
maybe that's what it
nervous.
was.
You know who's like that right now too? Is like Alyssa. She's like,
Yeah.
you did not hire me the first time,
Yeah.
and she's like, they will not let it go. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
you don't hire him the
Yeah, it
first
kind
time,
of
they
reminds
will
me.
remember
I
that.
hired Alyssa, so she's probably like, "See, told you."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like it kind of made it like
Yeah.
more special though. When you called me, I went in for Super Bowl with a friend of mine who still comes in to see me there all the time. But went in for a few drinks, and then he calls me the next day. Do you still want to work here? I was like, hell yeah.
See, I just needed that one more appearance. Maybe I just need to see you in your natural
habitat.
the way you
Her wild
react,
side.
or how you
My
really
natural
act.
habitat.
Maybe I needed the realism. I needed who you really were, because sometimes the interview. Not sometimes. People come in to be impressive.
Yeah.
So
Or not.
right,
Or not.
or not, and then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Womp,
Maybe.
womp, womp.
I had one the other day, and I knew I went against my judgment, but a girl that I like in the club that's sweet, said she presented it like
And
this
hot.
is my friend.
Oh.
She's like, oh, this
Here
is
we
my
go.
friend, right?
Listen to this one.
So then,
love
so
story.
then she
By
comes in
Jackie.
and I pass, but politely, and it was early in the night, so she's like, well, can I just come in, like super early, like I want to say it was like 7. She's like, can I just come in and get some food and a drink? I was like, yeah, of course. You just can't talk to any guys, and you have to pay the cover charge, so she pays the cover. She goes in. During the course of the night, I see her with her friend, like she'll follow her to stages, and then periodically she's like, oh, Jaffe, you should just give me a chance. I'm like, baby, you see how many girls we have here and how many customers we
Did
don't
she
have?
used to work there?
No, I've never seen her before.
Talked to a girl who used to work there that told me she
No,
tried to come back.
Whole nother story.
hold on to your pants on
But
this
the
story.
same
though.
night.
Yeah, so
Same night.
so she's bouncing around, but I never see her interacting with guys whatsoever. And then all of a sudden,
all the
Carlos
girls.
comes fucking bitching
Well,
at me.
so like, yeah, I'm sitting like eating dinner, right? So I'm like having my little Caesar salad, and this girl is just like, she's wearing house shoes, a dress, but like a zip up hoodie on top of the dress.
Flash people.
I'm giving you the whole picture, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she decides to lay across 3 people at the bar, and they didn't know her, right?
Like
she's-
on top of the bar or
Like
on their laps?
like
or-
on their laps, and she's like talking to them, and then like it's like
my
a guy,
God.
a girl, and they're like, "What is this girl doing?" Right? So I'm like eating my Caesar salad. I'm like looking around. I'm like, "Who is this girl?" I hadn't paid attention. I hadn't looked. But I finished my salad. I put my plate behind the bar, and all of a sudden, this girl, in her house shoes, is
Ready?
twerking on these other 2 guys, like her ass on their face. And these guys didn't
enjoying
want
it?
it.
Okay.
No, these guys didn't want it. They're like looking back, like, who is this chick? And so I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. You gotta go. Like, you don't work here. You can't be twerking on people.
Was it in that tone? Because the tone I saw was not that.
No. My
Not
tone
be
started
twerking here,
there.
okay.
mademoiselle.
My tone started there because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm
Right.
like, hey, you just gotta get you to leave. And then she's like, well, Jaffe said I was cool, right? And I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
but
okay.
at this point, Jaffe's not standing here. I'm standing here, and you just gotta go. And she decides to just ignore me, like getting a little combative. So I see her purse is there, so I grab her purse, and I'm just like, well, if you want this purse,
she
it's gonna
flipped
be
out,
out.
didn't she?
It's gonna be outside, right? So then I start walking outside. She's not walking. I'm not gonna put my hands on a girl ever. So it's just like, come on, I gotta get you out. So then I realize that Jaffe, she knows Jaffe, right? So I'm like, hey, Jaffe, this
knows me
is
so
your
well.
girl, right? So Jaffe's like,
Fine,
Jaffe gets
yeah.
this, his look like, what's going on? But by the time we get to the lobby, she's dropping the N-bombs about me, and then Jaffe's like, calling her
calls you.
friend.
You the
She
N-
Oh,
calls
she
you-
called me the N-bomb.
She
you
called me the N-bomb,
Carlos.
right? So they get her outside, and then all of a sudden, she like decides to get in a car and drive. He's trying to stop her from driving, and
Well, no, she was going to get handcuffed.
Ladies
oh yeah,
like
she
the
was gonna
light-
get
Oh,
handcuffed
before
and
getting
fight the
in
door.
car. Security didn't know what to do because he was like, I don't want to throw this chick on the ground. He's like, I was going to put her in handcuffs and subdue her. And he's like, she takes off, gets in her car, and then she starts going the wrong way. So she starts coming through the valet, backwards, where my car is. So I'm literally standing in front of her, like trying to protect my car. I'm like,
He jumped in front of her car
Oh
to
my
protect his car.
God.
So you want to
protect
laugh?
your car.
Yeah.
So the whole thing happens in the front door area in front of the door girl, and the door girl, they have a little group text, and I'm involved, and sometimes they forget I'm in there. And the door girl said the funniest thing she said was about the night the girl threatened her. She said it was dropping N-bombs everywhere. And then she said what made her laugh was the only thing that Jaffe had to say back to her was like, because she had dropped the N-bomb across, says, he's not even black.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was like, that's all Jaffe had to say. She's cussing me out. She's cussing Carlos out. She's cussing out security. Jaffe looks and says, he's not even black.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how we got into this story, but yeah, that was.
That's crazy. Well, we were talking about that girl who was trying to get a job there.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah,
one?
yeah. As far as like people applying for
Yeah.
jobs.
I'm talking about
that's
her.
That's
Yeah,
how we
right.
got sideways.
So we tangented. So I hired Lindsey when she came back in, hanging out with her friends, having a good time, singing her songs. Like, she's got good energy.
Drinking.
Like, you still want to work here? She was like, maybe.
Well, I think
I don't think I said May. I think I was like,
I think what's like really what you probably were able to notice is that she's genuinely nice,
Right.
right? Because it's like a lot of times
thanks.
being in the service industry, you want to hire people, and then everybody's going to be nice to you when they want a job,
And then their true colors
and
come
then
through.
so yeah, the true colors come out. So I guess like seeing them, their natural habit of like, oh, yeah, she's got friends, she's happy, and things like that. So it makes me think of like stories. I remember like when I go to like some resorts in Playa del Carmen or whatever, and I find I literally ask them about how they get such nice people to work at these resorts, because whenever you go to these resorts over
just
there,
kiss your ass.
they are literally never gonna say no to you, right? And it's just like, I mean, sometimes you're drunk in a resort in a pool all day, and they're still like so nice. Like you don't even get like a from them ever, right?
Right.
So I asked them frequently, and I remember this one guy told me, he's like, they go through several different steps of training before they ever get hired to find out if they are actually nice people, if they're not like faking nice, So like that's probably what happened with her, and now it shows, because she's like always like afraid to make a mistake, but always just like you never really get anything like like
She's never in a
anything
bad mood though.
anything
She
bad
is so
from her.
cordial when it comes to, if I ask her on the fly to pull a shift or work or do something that's not scheduled, her reply is so
Professional.
yeah, it's like this Chat GPT did it.
Right. Probably did.
I just never.
My apologies, sir, but according to what was scheduled, I specifically am not.
And then Will responds to you 2 days later.
Exactly what I said.
You text him on Monday,
Why
Saturday
just
night.
fucking
You're like,
say
cool.
no?
Because
So I
I'm
read
like,
this
so
book.
I love this job, and I'm like, I don't know, just I never want to be rude. I'm thankful for it. I don't want to get fired.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is the best way to say this? Where I'm not sounding rude, but you also know I'm not having it.
It's funny because you probably, I imagine, like one time you were probably in the middle of a loud ass concert drunk, and you were like, I need to take the time to put this text together. Instead of just like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's appreciative, so I appreciate you.
So
But man,
now that you've been there, how long have you been working in the
2.5 years.
what are some of the like things that you can tell our guests, like do's and don'ts as a customer at the bar or as a customer at the strip club? Like, is there anything like you'd be like, okay,
There's one
like
right
please
on the
do
top of
this,
my
do
head.
not do this,
Yeah,
and other than just tipping, of course, like
The main thing is, if you're gonna go on the patio, please go to the left of that that light right there.
my God.
Do not go out the emergency exit. That first set of doors. No.
that's funny.
It's
God,
I
yeah.
have to do it all the time.
I will go up to people. So we have we have the patio door, and then there's an emergency door. The emergency door has 2 signs about a foot long.
English and Spanish.
And
Yeah,
red
2
signs
languages.
on the door
Emergency,
handle.
don't go out here. So every time when they go out there, the alarm goes off. So one of us has to go over there and turn it off.
Somebody's
with our key,
messed up and goes
So
out
I
the
will
wrong door.
always go to the customer and be like, "Sir, excuse me. Just so I know for next time, would it be better if I put this sign like on the floor, or would you see it if I put it on the ceiling?" I was like, because obviously if we put it right in front of your face, you miss
not
it.
gonna see
And they
it.
always look at me like, "Huh?" And I'm just like, "Never mind."
Yeah.
That is funny.
I keep adding more signs, and it still
We need to
doesn't
put like a
matter.
little buzzer, like
I need to-
a
I need
dog
to-
Put a rope
electronic
in front of it,
fence.
but
Like
then
you
somebody would
share.
fall
I
over
want
it,
to
I'm
get
sure.
the pad where it's got a pressure pad, and you step on it and it lights up like
Opens
don't
the whole
do
door.
it.
Do not go
Whereas it'll
beyond
probably
this
freak them
point.
out and they'll run out the door. But
That's
so
that's
the
your
one,
do's
right?
and don'ts.
So
That's the
that's
number
it?
one.
Yeah.
The second one, this just happened to me last night working because I picked up for Taylor at this, this bar or whatever. Close to last call, people are always coming up like 5 minutes before 2, and the bar just gets slammed. If you're gonna come in at 1:55 and want a drink, just because you stand in front of my well does not mean you're my number one priority. Right. Like people will just, hey, can I get this? And I'm like, I'll be with you in just a minute. Like I've got about 12 things ahead of me. I'll be there when I can.
do people wave money?
Oh yeah, they wave money or
Cards.
they wave their hands. My
Cards.
favorite is when somebody's going, I go, and then turn around and keep making my drinks. It's
Oh
just
man.
so little things like that. Also, don't light your cigar in the restaurant, please.
Oh.
Please don't do that. I've had like 3 people do that during day shift.
It's been since 2011 since this state passed that law, no smoking in restaurants. But I think it's usually people that just left Vegas or live in Florida. It's what
South
I've noticed.
Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what do you
where
mean I
I'm
can't
from.
smoke in here? I'm like, you can't smoke in here.
Well, you sell cigars.
Right.
Yeah. Please go out the patio door, not that door.
Right. And then the door thing happens.
It all ties in together.
Yeah.
I think those are like my major things.
That's it?
Also, when you get there, you definitely just have to be focused on your job. Like it's all about work when you get there. Like get the mindset right, so you're not worried about other little things. Like if there's any cattiness between waitresses or bartenders or anyone else, try not to get involved in
The
any
club
kind of
drama,
The
huh?
club drama.
That's your personal ones. Do you have any like personal ones for like the customers? Like, do they ask? Do they have you have weird requests or,
I mean, always.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some.
What are your day shift customers like? Since you work Monday day shift. I mean, picture this: Monday,
Please go.
Monday, 11:30 a.m. Right,
And you choose to
and
go to a
then
strip club.
you go to the strip club at 11:30 in the morning.
Most of them actually, I have a handful of regulars that come see me like every week during the day, are businessmen. They're usually dressed to the nines. They're super polite, and they go immediately upstairs. And if they don't, they're still giving me a couple $100 just to have like 2 drinks. It's crazy.
Because you love that shift, right?
Yeah, I love that shit. Because I'd rather work smarter, not harder, guys, okay? I don't mind the chaos sometimes, but I've been doing this for like 15 years. I've come through the trenches. I like being able to come in and just talk to
Chill.
people and chill and make my money based off relationships,
That's cool.
I like the hustle and bustle too, but
The hustle bustle can be like supposedly. I found out last night that there was a lot of hustle and bustle that was
Yeah, you should have seen her
Right.
face last
And-
night.
Oh
and
my
for no monetary value, right?
OMG.
Really?
At last call, like 10 minutes before last call, and I got girls coming up to me trying to ask her stuff, and I went, no, I'm really busy right now. Like,
Right.
one of them sitting there, can I have a
Oh, no,
shot? I'm like, I have 12 tickets right now.
It was a shit. I mean,
And
it
then
was a
customers
shit show.
with
It was
tabs
2 hours.
open
Oh,
that
yeah,
I have
it
to
was
get
a shit
to.
show.
Yeah, my face was probably.
I mean, I think all of us were at that point.
Yeah, I
That's
had a couple waitresses like, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm like, yep, me too.
I mean, the first
We're
time
in
I
it
cracked
together.
last night, I sat at a table. It was already full. Had a 9 top of women that came in. There was no place to sit them, so I sat them by the 3rd stage, right? They sit there for a minute. Well, they sit there for several minutes while I'm walking around trying to find a waitress and realize that everybody is just, cherry picking.
Oh, Lord.
So then after we have the 3 tables put together, they migrate to the front and
Of
take
course
up
they
different
did.
tables,
saw
and
them.
no waitress still goes there.
So
and
they
then-
stood in front of the bar at Annie's bar.
So there was one waitress that I've made cry before. So before I did that again, I took myself to the cooler, stood in there for about 30 seconds,
Literally cool down.
came back out. And I think I even went to Carlos. I was like, Carlos, I don't want to make this person cry again. I was like,
Aw.
I'm just trying to get somebody to take care of this table over here.
You're a sweetheart, too.
And I don't know if anybody ever took care of them.
Probably not.
I think they went to the bar. But they were
they
polite.
were,
I ended up getting, because I went over to them like 2 hours later. And I was like, listen, I know when you guys...
They probably saw it was crazy,
But
too.
I went over to them. I was like, I know that you guys waited a minute. I saw you guys move. I was like, can I get you guys some breakfast? And 2 of them wanted. They were super appreciative. So
That's cool.
Yeah, there were definitely times where I would see a
nice.
waitress come up and stand there, and I'm like, do you need anything? No. I'm like, okay.
This is what I've noticed with
need to
what's
breathe.
changed in my career at Adult Entertainment. When I first started, there were the potential of customers purchasing ones was very limited. Maybe 1 or 2 people.
We may have kept like $3,000.
We kept like $3,000 to $5,000, and it lasted all weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now it's
Nothing.
insane.
it really is.
Like 20,000.
It's we pushed through 25,000 on a night. And
That's
it's
on
just
a
thing.
non
yeah,
homegirls night.
right. And and it's the credit card isn't as much as the one situation. It's kind of crazy, and it takes a lot of time for that. Not just having to go get it for the customer, but then also the entertainer having to collect it, put it together, then us trying to put it back in some sort of organized situation and put it back together again. And you're like, oh, what a process.
Remember last time I went to the Cheetah in Atlanta?
Yeah.
You would get kicked out for making it rain.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
Not
trying to put a
That's
stop
no
to
fun.
It was not allowed. Yeah. It's not allowed. They're like,
I
we're
love
not
it
that
when
type of
people
club.
throw wands on
I
me
mean, it
behind the bar.
probably increased their workday a couple hours because we know it does on crazy nights where there's a bag of ones. You're like, I ain't doing that shit.
Speaking about ones, I just thought of something else I can tell customers. When you come up and want ones, please don't just ask for $40 or $60. Can you just get the whole stack? Can you get the 100?
100, right?
Get the
Yeah.
100?
Yeah, but life is hard. Not everybody has
Well, I
hundreds.
had a guy last night ask me
Almighty.
for, he's like, I need some dance dollars. The entertainer was like, can you come over here? I was
What
like,
did she want, $20?
I was like, yes, sir. What can I get for you? He's like, 1. So I wrote down, $110. He's like, why is it 110? I was like, you wanted $100. He's like, no, I wanted 1. I'm like, yes, sir. We don't do 1 dance dollar. He's like, huh? I'm like, we don't do 1 dance dollar.
You
told
just burned yourself on that one.
We've
We
done it during
don't?
the day.
no,
We do whatever they want, bro.
No, I walked him over to the ATM because he didn't go back there and he got the money out. And he was-
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's
Blows my
funny.
mind.
I do the one. I'll do the one for you. No problem.
Not at 2:30 in the morning. When
No.
there's-
And when I'm slammed, also at last call, and people keep coming back for, can I get 21s? Can I get 61s? I'm like,
I don't think most people get that though, because
Because you're hand counting it, right?
I think
Yeah.
I think most regular people would think like that's normal. Like I'm just getting $20-$40 in once. Tip of the girl
but when
on
you're
stage.
coming back every like 20
Yeah, I'm
seconds,
saying, but
I'm like,
just
like, get $100.
I just remember when I was younger being a customer, like
That's true.
I wouldn't
Younger.
necessarily think I'm gonna throw $100 at once. So
Yeah.
I would think $40. You tip the girl $2 here, $2 there. And,
I guess I'm used to it.
So
You're
like
right.
yeah, we're in it. So like for us, it's like oh, you're not getting a couple
You're not giving
hundred.
her
Like
100?
what?
Like, get out of here.
Why are you here?
Plebeian.
Yeah, you guys have to think about the other side.
Yeah.
You're right.
So like sometimes I have to like tell people like, hey, remember life is hard, like, I'm trying to rent that place out right now, so I see what people make, and like I see their pay stubs and what they live off of,
Yeah.
and like, man, it's like I don't think this person is going into the club
true,
spending
though.
hundreds, like
right. The bubble of monetary value is blown by
It's
the
crazy.
entertainer.
'Cause
Some
we are
girl-
just seeing money.
Some girl came to me last night and
all
was
the
pissed
time.
off. And she was like, those people on stage that wanted me to come over and talk to them, so they're going to make my night. They gave me $40. I was like, okay.
That's gas, girl.
Right.
yeah, and food.
I mean, just think about
More than you walked in.
Yeah,
with.
but just think about
I'm like, so you made $40 in 2 minutes, right?
yeah, but then
Right.
they're like, well, if I'm not making 1,000, like it's a terrible night.
I will
like,
say, after being here for 2.5 years, life is hard, and I've been on that side of it. And if y'all know, the car that I drove before this car that I have.
What
now,
was it?
Okay.
What'd you have before? I don't remember.
You got a
It's
picture?
an 03 Honda Accord.
Yeah?
And the air didn't work, and the
That's not
CD
that bad.
player didn't work, and the headliner was falling. Kind of embarrassing.
Oh, you have the headline that touched your head?
I drive them till they die, though, right? It's never been something super important to me. I don't care. I've
Transportation.
Always driven a hoopty. You prioritize what.
Are you driving a
what's
hoopty
important.
now?
No. So
what
what
is
I
it?
was going to say is after being at the club for this long and talking about money and life is hard, I was finally able to get something nicer.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with it. And
What'd you
I
get?
love it. A 2019 Volkswagen Jetta, and it only had 20,000 miles on it.
Nice, all right.
So now it's like $40.
Yep. Yeah. But I couldn't do that before, so
Yeah.
thank you guys for that opportunity.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yep. So how did you get into wedding singing? That's always what I want to
Oh,
ask you.
God.
Right.
Well, I mean, were you in a band before or something?
Yeah, I guess when I moved to Charlotte, I got on this website that for like local musicians to meet, and just signed up and threw some songs I had recorded on there and got contacted by several different people. But one of them was very persistent, like would not leave me alone to the point where I was like, well, he seems like he's got a lot of experience. He's really talented. Why is he blowing me up? I need a friend to come with me to meet this guy, make sure he's not a serial killer. And we met out at a bar. He asked me to come audition. I auditioned a week later, got in the group. They happened to be musicians that had been playing in Charlotte for over a decade. So went immediately and got signed with an agency and just started doing weddings. That's where we got our money from. But we did play in a lot of bars before we were able to sign. We didn't sign for probably 6 months, actually. Yeah. So
Any original material?
No, I've done a lot of that, but this was specifically for the money.
Yeah. So
Like
a lot
weddings
of
are probably the highest paying thing
I got you.
typically a musician can do, and it's relatively available.
But then you also cross over to other
Everybody
bands
gets
too.
married, like-
So you share out to other bands, don't you? You sing with another band, you told me. And
So
you-
I sing with a few different groups. It just depends on what people are doing. Hey, Lindsey, you want to jump in on this with us? I'm like, sure. I host karaoke every Thursday
Do you really? I didn't know that. Where at?
out in Valentine.
Brad,
Oh, we would go. Really?
Yeah, Dee's been out, Matt's been out, a bunch
Really?
of people, Angelina's come. Like,
You're the karaoke person? Yeah.
oh, yeah, I host.
That's all.
and then
So
you
I'm
get
on
in
the-
there and sing in between to
Oh,
like
yeah.
get people to do
So
it.
I'm on the mic, and we'll do a sound check, and then I'll sing the first song, and then we'll get it rolling. And I'm like, we got so-and-so up next. Like, I kill it, man. It's
Karaoke's fun. I did. My
made for it. I walked her in, like, I'll walk through the restaurant. And
You should
if
have her
people
host an
aren't-
amateur contest, right?
Should.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Give her the mic.
I
Yeah,
go up
just
to
go for
people's
it.
tables and I'll be like, "You gonna sing tonight?" They're not paying attention. I'm like, "Hey,
She could be like a
those
little
chicken
entertainer.
wings look really good. You gonna sign up?" And they start cracking up, and it's a lot of fun.
That's something to think about. You can have her walking around like
I
what
would
I did.
love that. I have a wireless
You know what
mic already.
I
Let's
did?
go.
I managed this bar where we had live band karaoke.
That's what we do.
Is it a live band?
Yes.
Oh my god,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
so
that'd be
much
so
fun.
intimidating.
That was so much fun.
so much
You had a, you had a drummer,
Yes.
a rhythm guitar, a
People
lead
are like,
guitar,
"How do you
and
do
bass
this?" I'm
guitars.
like, "I was made for this, man. This is.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer." Let's
People
go.
have that dream and they would love it.
I mean, I love doing karaoke, and I've done it like that one spot in Montfort that has like a stage, you know.
Right.
I mean, I'm a
Bucket
terrible,
Jeff's
I'm a
Bucket Shop,
terrible
bro.
singer, but it's
I love
like
that place.
awesome to do, you know. Like I can't imagine with a whole band behind
Man,
you.
it's
I mean,
incredible. You would
So
see
much
people
fun.
like this is my chance.
I guess you know.
Yes. Oh my God, we have
It's my
so many
dream.
people. We have
you
so
know,
many
and they would
people
be
that
on
are
the floor on their
so
knees, like
into it.
ah.
We
What are
have
they
people
doing?
that come back every week, and one in particular is this guy named Dr. Jim.
Yeah.
And Dr. Jim is like 5'6" little man, and he's a doctor literally, so that's why we call him that. But he comes up and sings "Sweet Child" every freaking week.
Oof,
Really?
that's a
Can I
tough one to
say
sign.
that it's good? No.
No, it's like
That's a tough one to sing,
not-
man.
Is it
Like,
Does he hit
entertaining
those
as hell?
notes?
how you
Yes.
hit Axel's notes, you know? Like,
I gotta come see this guy now.
Oh, it's amazing. And then there's guys that will sing the same songs every week, and they're really intense about it. Like, that you better get them up there. When am I up? When am I? Why did that person skip me? And I'm like, you gave me $60. Like, sorry, bro. I'm used to the tipping game now. You know?
Do you know where I work?
is that how that works? The hosting, you get
Yeah.
you
Oh,
give
yeah.
money
If you're
but
paying
in
us.
tips.
Hey, well, that one customer that we've talked about
Yeah.
actually came up and saw me one night and came up and sang "At Last" and gave
Yeah.
us like $100.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh.
All
I
right.
wanted to
And then
know-
I sing with that other group. It's called Busy and the OGs.
This is the one where they replaced you once, and then you got a little bit.
Oh yeah, I got testy. You don't replace me. I mean, they didn't replace me. I couldn't be there. But then I was like, "So how did it go?" And they're like, "Oh, she did a really great job." It's basically an all request band though, and it's a bunch of guys, and yeah, it is just a bunch of dudes and me who have been in this industry in Charlotte for 10 years and play weddings and private events and all kinds of things together. So people will come in and just request random songs, and we just do them, like whether we know them or not. We're like, "Oh, between the 6 of us, we can figure this out. You do that part, you do that part. Let's go." And it's fun.
So it's like karaoke for the band too.
Yeah.
Kinda like
keeps you on your toes.
Chopped for musicians. Yeah.
I always wanted to know how you met my brother. Did you play? Was he in a? Did you play?
I
in
think
his
I
band?
met them on the same website that I met the guy who I was in a band with, like just musicians mingle or
But
something.
you guys
like
never
that.
played together.
We never had a gig together. We got together with an original band that wanted to just strictly write music, and I wrote lyrics and stuff for them for a while. And yeah, your brother was the bass player. He was really awesome. You want to know the reason I didn't last in that band though? And this is a general rule, okay? I started hooking up with the guitar player. And it's like, y'all, in
Never
anything,
hook up with the guitar
you don't hook up
player.
with anybody you work with, first of all. I learned that a long time ago. So, but yeah, I hooked up with the guitar player, and they were like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Y'all made this weird. But your brother was awesome. When I came to the club and heard his last name, I was like, Jaffe. Where do I know that name from? And then I'm like, oh my God, you guys look so much alike. Yeah,
They're like identical.
I'm like, okay.
Not when
I
we
knew
were
who you
younger,
were.
but definitely now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But that was like 13 years ago now.
Ryan's been playing for a while, isn't he?
Yeah, he just got back from Lithuania.
Yeah.
Yeah, diamonds and whiskey.
Ryan's doing it big.
I know, Lithuania. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, music's everywhere.
Isn't that a small world though? Like
Where's music made you travel? Have you traveled anywhere? Music?
all over the place. But my favorite gig that I did, like we were with the East Coast, so it was mainly the East Coast. We had a gig at Manhattan Penthouse on Fifth Avenue in New York. And this lady just hired us for a private party. We made $800 a piece. She played, I don't know, I'm spilling over my words here. She paid for our hotel, our plane ticket, and then tipped us $200 on top after everything was said and done, a piece.
It's pretty nice.
It was
For
awesome.
one night in the little penthouse.
Yeah, one night in Manhattan Penthouse on
That's
Fifth
fucking
Avenue.
dope.
It's like, this is sick, bro.
How long was the set?
3 hours.
Yeah.
That's what a
bad.
typical wedding would be too.
Yeah.
The thing with weddings though is they're all day. It's like if something's 3 hours away, you go, you set up, you sit around, you do, maybe you'll play the wedding ceremony, but mainly you're just there for reception. So you got to wait around till they get married. Introduce everybody, do the first dances.
They feed you?
Then everybody eats. You're sitting around some more. It's a process.
Is it a big deal if they feed you or not?
Yes. Generally, we have that in our contract. We're going to eat, like you guys are going to provide food.
Right.
But what you get, like sometimes they have a buffet and these gourmet things for the customers, and then we get like these little box lunches.
Sandwiches.
And they stick us in a room without a table. We're just sitting in fold-out chairs, and we're like, cool.
Right. This is going to reflect in the music.
My performance, like, there's no encore today.
Some of the things you have to write in contracts are weird too.
Your writer?
We played a plantation in like Charleston one time in the middle of the summer. There's like no air conditioning in this building. We're outside, and I go and ask somebody for water, and they're like, "Oh, that's not in the contract."
Oh, wow.
I'm like, so let me get this right. You want me to jump around for 3 hours with no air conditioning and no water? Like, this is not going to work. We had to start writing from that point on that they provide us with water. Like, ridiculous stuff.
I've seen writers where it's specifically a type of water, too.
Yeah, well,
Like
we weren't that bougie.
Yeah, get
I'm
bougie.
just like,
Get boozy. Screw them.
just don't want to pass out at the wedding, please.
So this is a weird request, but I hate to say it, but people probably want to hear what your voice sounds like.
I know.
Yeah,
and
we
I
can.
hate
I was
that I'm
gonna say we
sick right
gotta
now, too.
we gotta
You
cut
gotta
it,
do.
but why don't we
Last
why don't
one.
we
I'm gonna-
end
I'm
this
not
episode
gonna
with you
do it.
singing?
Yeah?
Let's think. Should we
Sound
do it?
good for it?
I don't want to
Yeah,
do it
it's-
last. I'll do
What do you want to do?
Valerie.
Valerie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Acapella.
Get the snot out of my
You got a
nose.
hallelujah on the floor? Go ahead.
Hey, I'm pretty good at snot rockets. I'm just saying.
That's a whole different topic.
I know, right? All right, we're not gonna. I'm such a lady. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things like what you're doing. In my head, I paint a picture. Whoa. Since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. I want you to come on over. Stop making a fool out of me. Yeah. Oh, why don't you come on over, celebrate? Yeah. Woo. Valerie. And there you go. That's it.
Wow. That was amazing.
Thank you very much. And I'm sick, but it gave me that rasp.
All right, guys.
I had not heard that before. That was
That was good. That was
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 18. Please follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube and TikTok. See you later.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
thank
it
you.
was so like on the fly. I'm like,
Oh, no.
you're
it's all
I feel like you
good.
should have studied. Literally, my voice is so raspy today, so I think that worked. I think it did too.